We are so excited to welcome you to the Provost Top 5 session. My name is Jillian, and I am a proud alumni and am an enrollment advisor here at Trent, and I will be the moderator of this session. We are so excited for the path that you have ahead of you and look forward to sharing with you all of the reasons why Trent has been ranked the #1 undergraduate university in Ontario for 10 consecutive years. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that both of our campuses are located on the treaty and traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe. We are grateful for the First Peoples for their care for, teachings of our earth and our relations. May we honor their teachings and learn together. With me today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Michael Kahn, Provost and Vice President Academic for Trent University. And I'll pass it along to you, Michael, to introduce yourself.
Great. Thank you, Jillian, and welcome everybody. Ani and greetings. It's certainly a pleasure to meet with you this morning. It's a wonderful day here on the Peterborough campus. I actually just joined Trent about a year ago, so it's extremely exciting to be here at Trent and looking forward to telling you more about Trent today.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I'm sure everyone here is so excited to hear more about all the insight that you have about Trent. I guess we'll get started with this wonderful conversation that I have the honor of talking with you today. But I guess my first question to start off today is Provost and Vice President Academic. That's not a title that everyone may understand. Do you mind explaining what that means at Trent and what your role is?
You know, you're quite right, Jillian, because whenever I'm in the community and I introduce myself as a provost, a lot of people smile, but you could actually tell they have no clue what a provost is. So it's a very exciting position because in my role, along with many others, we have the ability to influence the lives of thousands of our students. My specific role, I have the overall insight and responsibility for the quality and integrity of our academic programs. So really our entire academic mission is my responsibility. But a university education is a lot more than just what we do in the classroom. It's about enjoying and making the most of university and campus life and being involved in the community. So I work very closely with the presidents, the other vice presidents, and our deans and many other staff members throughout campus to make your experience the very best it can be here at Trent.
Well, I can say my experience being an alumni has been amazing. I guess then there's so many things that you do for your students and for myself and for everyone here at Trent, but what is your top priority as a provost?
Yeah, and that's a very simple question. And let me go back a bit first and say why I joined Trent just over a year ago. Because just to give you some background of myself, and then I'll lead into your question. I'm originally from Trinidad, if you're trying to pick my accent. I did all my university education in Canada, and then I worked in the UK for 12 years. And what interested me about Trent is I wanted to work at a university that was amongst the very best. And as you mentioned at the beginning, Jillian, we have a very strong reputation here at Trent and have been recognized as a top undergrad university in Ontario for 10 years in a row. So our top priority here at Trent, the answer is very simple. It's to prepare students for success. There's nothing more important than what we do at Trent University. So we all know that a university education is a major investment financially and time-wise. And our goal is to prepare you for the next 30 to 40 years. A university education will have a very large impact on what you do for the rest of your career. So it's very important that you make the right choice. It's interesting that about 95% of our students are employed within months of graduating. But what I want to do is make a distinction between career ready and career success. because you will hear many universities talk about being career ready. We want to go beyond that. And by doing so, we want you to be lifelong learners and to be able to continue to grow throughout your career. So it's very important that we prepare you for career success and not just being career ready. And our graduates have gone on to be leaders in business, politics and law, social justice, science and technology, healthcare, education, literature, and the performing arts. So we are very, very proud of our tradition of preparing you for success.
That's amazing. I feel like my time at Trent, I feel like I belong and ready, and it prepared me for the workforce and the world that I had ahead of me afterwards. You don't realize it until you get there. I guess there's many reasons why Trent is a great choice for students. And I know I might be a little biased and you might be a little biased too, but could we talk about those top 5 reasons and why Trent would be a great fit for these students tuning in with us today?
Yeah, let me explain how I came about this. As I mentioned at the beginning, I joined Trent just over a year ago, and I am extremely pleased with my decision. And I'm sure same with yourself, Jillian, as you've mentioned. But now it's our responsibility to help you to consider why Trent may be the right university for you. So what I've done is I've put together my top 5 reasons of why I think you should consider having Trent as your university. So perhaps, Jillian, I know you have each of them there. Perhaps we can actually go through each of them one by one, and I can speak to them.
Of course. I'm excited to do that. Well, it's funny because when we started the session, I was like, I need to call him Dr. Khan, but you told me that it's a place where everyone knows your name and you know my name out of all the people at this university. So I feel like I belong here.
That's right. And our first top 5 reason is exactly that. Trent University is a place where everyone knows your name. Now, I don't know how many parents are on the call here this morning, but you would recall the TV show called Cheers. And the buzzword there is that was a place where everybody knows your name. And it was a very welcoming place. And that's what we want Trent to be like. Trent University currently has about 12,000 students, and we've grown significantly over the last few years. But still, over 80% of our classes have 50 students or less in it. So what that means is you will get to know your fellow students and you will get to know your professors. So why is that important? Obviously, knowing your professors enhances your learning experience because you can meet with them and talk about your academic programs or your career aspirations. But what is also very important is that your professors will be writing reference letters for you when you graduate and you're looking for jobs. And your employers can tell whether those reference letters mean something. So the better your professors know who you are, the more informed they can write that reference letter for you and the more meaningful it is. And as Jillian mentioned, if you see me on campus, I would prefer that you call me by my first name. If you see the president, his name is Leo, and he would prefer that you call him by his first name. It's just how we are here at Trent.
That's amazing. I don't feel like I'm a student number here. Like even when I was a student, I felt like I belong, and it's so nice walking along the ferry-on bridge, no matter what the season, and you can wave to everybody because you know people walking by.
Exactly right.
That's amazing. I guess you were talking about the professors that we have here at Trent, and I know that they're recognized internationally, and they're people that we get to work with even in our first year coming into Trent. Do you mind talking a little bit more about that?
Sure, and that leads us into our second top 5 reason. You will be taught by internationally recognized researchers who are also excellent teachers. So why is that important? A university education, you have to be at the forefront of your field. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're not interested in just preparing you for the next 2 to 5 years. We're interested in getting you ready for the next 30 to 40 years. So that means that you have to be at the forefront of knowledge in your field. And that's why we have professors who are leaders in their field teach you. Now, it's interesting that in order for you to grow throughout your career, you have to be lifetime learners. And by having a research background, that enables you to keep up to date in your field. It is also interesting that research has shown that the best researchers are also actually the best teachers. Many people think that good researchers lock themselves in their lab, they don't like to talk to anybody, but that's not the case. Researchers are very enthusiastic about their subject area, and they bring that enthusiasm to the classroom. So when we hire professors here at Trent, we make sure that there are actually good researchers, but also excellent teachers. It's very important for us.
I can attest to that. A lot of professors here at Trent and researchers, when you ask them about what they study, it is so exciting to see the passion and enthusiasm that they have in their eyes when they talk about it. And it's great that we get to learn from them.
That's right. You know,
I guess, could you explain a little bit more of what we can learn and what the amazing things that we can learn from these professors and from the experiences at Trent? Because I know there's so many things.
Sure, exactly. And you're quite right. And that leads to our third point. And at Trent, you will be given an interdisciplinary and diverse education. You will have to specialize in certain fields, but we also make sure you take courses in subject areas that are quite interdisciplinary and diverse. So why is that important? We live in a very complex and interdisciplinary world, and you will be working with people from different fields. Now, it's interesting that employers, when they look to hire people, obviously specific skills are important, but even more so, employers are looking for people who are critical thinkers, people who are creative, people who are problem solvers, people who can work in diverse teams and have the potential for leadership. You get that by taking a diverse education, because what that does, it enables you to think outside the box, be able to create, be creative and problem solve in different ways. And by being able to think in different ways, you can transfer your knowledge and way of thinking to new situations. And that is foremost on employers' minds when they look to hire people. So very, very important. And Trent stands out in this regard in offering you this interdisciplinary and diverse education. So make the most of it and explore as much as you can when you come to Trent.
I love that. That's amazing. And we do have just about over 100 programs that you folks can choose from and learn about. We do have staff in the chat there on the right hand side, but if you have any questions about those programs, feel free to write them in the chat there, or if you have any questions for Michael about those and his experiences with these professors and the way he interacts with them, feel free and take a read through those as well today. Today is about exploring those reasons and those programs of why Trent gives you that interdisciplinary and diverse education. So take today as what Michael was saying earlier, lifelong learners, take today as a day to learn about all these things that you can do with all the choices you're about to make with university and choosing the right university for yourself. I have a question for you, Michael. I know we've been talking about academics and programs, but the campus experience in and outside of the classroom, and I say this because it looks like you are on campus and it looks beautiful from outside from what we can see. But could you expand a little bit more about that?
Yes, and this is top 5 reason number 4. We have a stunning campus here. I'm on the Peterborough campus. We have 2 campuses at Trent, the Peterborough campus and the Durham campus, and they offer 2 unique experiences. The Durham campus is in an urban and vibrant setting. We have a brand new residence on that campus, and in that residence, we've actually integrated academic spaces. So this makes it extremely convenient for our students because the living and learning experience is all combined in one. On the Peterborough campus, I don't know how much you can see outside my window, but it's a majestic setting along the Otonabee River. And this morning there's actually a rowing regatta taking place. Unfortunately, you can't see the boats going by, but they were going by my office this morning. So every day when I come into my office, I am reminded of what an exceptional place it is actually to work and study here at Trent. But a university education, as I mentioned at the beginning, is a lot more than what you do in just the classroom. We encourage our students to get involved in campus life. So whether it be athletics and recreation, the performing arts, the numerous clubs and societies that we have on campus, or getting involved in the community, that is very, very important. And again, if I go back to your interest in looking for jobs afterwards, I was just reading an article, it was actually from the BBC, and they were speaking about how difficult it is right now for graduates to get entry-level positions. And again, what employers are looking for to separate candidates is who you are as a person, because you will be competing with many other students that have good academic credentials, but it's who you are that will make that difference. So we very, very much encourage our students to get involved with campus life and develop yourself as a person, and that will come forward when you're interviewed. Your academic marks will get you to the interview, but it's who you are as a person that will get you hired in your future careers.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really helpful to know, because I think students don't realize the amazing opportunities that there are outside of the classroom here on campus. We have so many clubs and groups, and like you said, just going and walking around on campus, there's so many things and experiences that you can discover about yourself as well.
Exactly. And, you know, I have a background in athletics and recreation, so I got heavily involved in campus life. And I would say quite confidently that my background in athletics and recreation played a very large role in helping me to grow career-wise. I'm sure many of you can speak to your similar experiences.
I guess you're learning those skills outside of the classroom, because you're going to be working with a diverse environment and different people once you're past here at Trent. But with those small class settings with your professor and student ratio of just 20-1, that's amazing that you get to know them, but also those experiences, you bring those to your classes and those perspectives.
Exactly. And I've had the honor of interviewing students for medical school. And, you know, once students get, I'm just using an example here, once students get to the interview, we don't even see their marks. We're just judging who they are as a person. And obviously, to qualify for medical school, all the students that get to the interview stage, they're quite competent. But medical schools are looking for the cream of the crop, and the way they separate people out, again, is by who people are as a person, your ability to be a team player, your ability to relate to other people, your ability to handle stress and anxiety, and so on.
Yeah. Do you ever see students from the beginning of the semester and then the end of the semester? Do you see how much they flourish?
Oh, and again, I'll use an example from athletics and recreation because just an example. And as I said, there are many other examples of the performing arts or students getting involved in the numerous clubs and societies that we have throughout campus. I've seen students come and start their degrees, and typically they're quite shy. And if they have to speak in public, you can see that shyness. And after a year or two, when I see them in public, you could all of a sudden see that confidence has come out and how comfortable they feel in a public setting.
That's amazing. That's nice that you can see what they've learned about themselves and interacting with the professors and the students and their colleagues, and how much that really makes you grow as a person.
That's right.
And I think that's another point, is that at Trent, you're going to enjoy that experience. But could you expand a little bit more on that experience that you get, not only in the classroom, but outside, and how much, I guess, you are already so enthusiastic. It makes us enthusiastic too.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I joined Trent. you all have a very important decision to make because throughout Canada, there are many high quality universities. But it's so important for you to choose a university that you feel comfortable and the fit is right. And this is our fifth and final point here. At Trent, you will enjoy your university experience. A university experience is unique, and you have to make sure that it is most memorable for you. When I see students on campus and I say hello to them, they're always smiling and laughing. And that's really quite reassuring because that means they're enjoying their experience here at Trent. As I mentioned, we have a very, very welcoming community here. You will get to know everybody. You will enjoy learning from your professors who are extremely passionate. And very importantly, you will make friends for life. The people that you meet at university, you will remain friends for life. And I've met several of our graduates so far in my relatively short time at Trent. And the first thing they tell me is how much they enjoyed their experience here at Trent. And that is so gratifying to myself to know that people really treasure that experience. So again, we urge you to, we're remote today, but I'm hoping that we will have opportunities for you to come to campus, experience what it is like, meet professors, meet students, and, really get to see what Trent is about.
I think I echo that these memories that you're making here will carry on with you for the rest of your life. I'm still friends with my roommates that I met all the way in first year. And I think back and I reminisce, and you take that with you and you're able to take that and learn from it. Like those experiences, they all come together. You don't realize it now, but that's nice that you're able to talk to alumni and see, what their stories were while they were at Trent.
Yeah, exactly. And, we do offer a challenging environment. We will challenge you, but we will support you through your process. And what is also very much worth mentioning, the Trent campuses are very, very safe environments. And we pride ourselves in that.
Well, that's great. It sounds like even when students graduate as alumni, you're able to support them too. So even though you're completed your 4 years at Trent, you're still connected within this tight community that we create here.
Yeah, and some of you may be familiar, Trent has a college system. So when you come to Trent, you will be part of a college, and this really enriches not only your academic experience, but your campus life. And the college experience is really a mechanism by which you become part of the Trent community. And a lot of our graduates really value that college experience because that's how they actually got to meet people and become part of campus life. And I don't know, Jillian, if you can say anything about college life that you experienced here as a student.
Of course. So I always like to explain colleges as smaller communities within that bigger community of Trent. You're able to go to someone to receive those supports, but also you have this like tight family. You're part of the big Trent family, but you're part of this tight family that you're able to interact with individuals and get to know them by interest, by academics, but also just getting to know people while you're here so that you have those connections and supports beyond academics. It's the friendship and those, I think you're saying those lifelong memories and the friendships that you make that really helps you along the way. I was a little biased. I lived in Zosky College. That was my college when I lived here in my first year. And I still talk to some of the people that help support me and mentor me along the way, which it sounds like you do too, Michael, is that you mentor students and you help guide them throughout their time here at Trent.
Yeah, exactly. And, Trent is what you will notice here that professors are extremely passionate about what they do here. But what is also, what stands out a lot is the professors are very caring about their students. They really are interested in how students progress throughout their academic programs, but also what happens afterwards. and professors will keep in touch with their students. And what I've heard also are examples of students keeping in contact with their own professors.
Mhm. Yes, that's amazing. That's nice. So it's like you know them on a first name basis while you're here, and then they follow up with you, because that's what our professors want to know here at Trent, is how you're doing and how you're succeeding beyond your Trent journey. And that's why we have days like today, like fall preview, where you're able to see what you can choose from and what to expect while you're here, but also give you a little preview before our open house next month, which is November the 20th, where you can actually talk to some professors, as well as each student maybe that's you'd like to relate to. We also have a chat feature on our website where you can actually talk to current students that are here. So Michael and I show our excitement, but there's also so many Trent ambassadors that are so excited.
Well, it's interesting, Julian, I should have mentioned that just 2 days ago, a former student of mine when I was a professor just wrote to me because he realized that I had moved to Trent and spoke about, the time that he valued when I was a professor. So
Wow.
it's really neat in that regard.
Yeah, well, that gives you some excitement, because it shows that the work that we do here at Trent and the work that people do as professors really carries on, and it makes students want to come back and enjoy that Trent experience, or that experiences with you and their interactions.
Exactly.
Yes, so I guess I'm cognizant of time here, Michael,
Sure.
but I guess the biggest question or statement that I have for you today is, any final closing words, final words of insight for these prospective students tuning in and their parents tuning in with us?
Sure. It's certainly been a pleasure speaking with you today. I hope that I will get the opportunity to meet many of you in person one day, whether it be at an in-person open house or as students here when you come in September. What I'd like to leave you with is, you have a major decision to make, and you have to choose the university that is the right fit for you. We have a culture here at Trent whereby we are extremely passionate about what we're doing. But I guess the best way to describe our culture is one of caring. We really care about what we do here at Trent, and we care about our students. So if there's any message to take away from today, please remember that. But also I'd like to mention that Trent is a university with boundless aspirations. We encourage our students to go beyond their expectations. And in my short time here at Trent, I've realized that we have a continual and relentless desire to get better and better. So I really hope that you become part of Trent's journey, and that you will allow us to be part of your journey. So again, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Michael. Those were such touching words. I would like to take a moment to thank you for being with us here today and sharing all that knowledge and all this excitement that you have for Trent, but also for the students that are coming in, and your excitement and care for the students that are currently here as well.
Great. And thank you, Julian. It's been a pleasure chatting, and I wish everybody the best of health and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. And folks tuning in, that is the Trent way. We have our provost and vice president academic here with us talking to us. So that is the Trent way. You feel like you're part of this close-knit community, and make sure that if you see him or myself on campus, say hello. This session has been recorded and will be posted to our fall preview webpage for next week to be posted. If you weren't able to make it, or someone wasn't able to make it, feel free to watch the recording. And I do want to invite you to come and visit our campuses. Like Michael was saying earlier, coming to campus and maybe doing a tour and feeling the campus for yourself definitely makes you excited, but also shows you what that experience could be like for you if you come choose Trent. So feel free to visit us at trentu.ca/tours to book a tour. And I also want to invite you to our fall open house, which is on November the 20th, in which I'll get some of our staff there to put the registration link in the chat. But we look forward to connecting with you and answering any questions that you may have over the course of today and beyond. And so on behalf of myself and Michael and Trent University, welcome to the Trent family and see you soon. Perfect. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.